Hello, everybody. For those who are already online, welcome to the Gantt Work Group webinar about Canva, Canva Pro versus Adobe Creative Cloud Express, presented by me. My name is Koen Degrande, chair of the Office Document Printing Subcommittee. Print and Design will be the new name that we will use for the subcommittee. So first of all, I want to present myself. I'm an employee of the firm Igepa Belux. I started as a service engineer for Mac, PC, and graphical systems. And afterwards, I did also some, or I still do, support for workflow systems on Agfa, Screen, Cytron. Training also is a part of my job, consultancy of and automation for graphical and large format printing systems. Lately, a part is added as I do also color management for workflow systems and also calibration, or let's say calibrating and generating dot gain curves for presses. I'm the chair of Office Document Printing, as already said, and it will has a new name, Print and Design. So my first part I already did. Welcome you. If some are joining in, I see still coming in. Okay, welcome for them. I hope for those who has to get up early, that it was not too early. So the first question will be, why this webinar? Then I have an introduction of the applications, the difference, Canva, Canva Pro, and Creative Cloud Express, type of designs that we can create, and PDF limitations. And naturally, we are open for questions at the end of the session. Please, if you do have some questions, put them in to the chat screen, and I will try to answer them during the session or surely at the end. And if not, you can send me a mail also, or send us an email so we can answer by mail if you want to. You know, we are here at not common graphical applications. So a lot of people are now expecting that what they are printing or what they are creating with Canva or Creative Cloud Express, because it's a common use now and more use in marketing. We see also non printing offices or printing or creation offices which are using Canva or Adobe Create Express to generate a document. And what is the problem, or what problem do we face? If it's really what I have created, is it expected or delivered as I want it? If the quality is enough? Is everything I created in my document from a Canva or a Creative Cloud document, is it printable? Do you know that printed documents, or you know that can be assembled, so it can be put holes in it to put in a map, or we can put some stitches in to assemble the document. So we have to pay attention of some information. Does my printer print until the border of the paper? Because when I create an A4, and you will see it, I'll put images and something else until the border. Will it be printed, yes or no? What about my colors? What about RGB? What about black versus gray? What about spot colors? What about a lot of effects that I can use in those things? transparency. So these are questions, these are problems that been seen in documents generated by those two applications or other applications similar to them. Therefore, with the subcommittee, we wanted to put our shoulders underneath it and look into it so we can advise you how you can use it the best way and how you can create PDF documents the best way so it can be printed. I had some examples here. For instance, this was a thing where it was created. And afterwards, if I print it on my A4 printer, I get that result. So you see on top of it, I lose some text on the on top. Why? Because my border, my printer has a surface of 7 millimeters, which can't be printed. So if I generate an A4 document, I will have to print it on a larger document so it can be printed until the border, because my printer cannot, or the normal printer digital cannot print until the border of the paper. Mostly the margin is 5 to 7 millimeters. It's very important that you know. So what I had expected was the left side that was created and also printed on the right side. That was the result. Another thing, I used some colors on it. So I draw a circle in red, green, and blue. And that was what I saw on my creation. That was what I did or generated in those applications. At the end, I printed my document. And what I saw this effect. You should say it's transparency. No, it's overprint. So you have to pay attention of using effects because they can affect that I had not print what on the left side, but what's on the right side. So I did not expect that the colors were transparent or in overprint. So a combination of them. Another thing, if I generated my document, there are some borders in a PDF file. There's always 5 boxes defined in a PDF file. Normally, I should expect that I have some differences between the boxes. What I see here is that the boxes has all the same size. The media box is the information I see here, but it's the same for those who are familiar with the boxes of PDF. The trim box, the bleed box, the crop box, and the art box are all in the same size as I see here. So for printing, it's not the ideal world. Now we will go a little bit, look deeper into the applications itself. What I see here, I have some differences, some different versions of Canva. Those who goes to the site canva.com will see that you have the possibility of using different versions of Canva. For Canva, they divided it into 4 parts. Canva, the normal one is a free of charge, useful for everybody, but is limited in size of documents that you can use or save, or to an amount of templates. So you can you have up of surface of 5 GB where you can store your documents. You can go up over that. Pay attention, that could be also mentioned for the images you upload. With Canva Pro, that is Canva naturally, plus also the possibility to save user-defined colors, fonts, and logos. So otherwise, you're limited what you upload and limited to what is already defined in the template. You see also I can change the formats and save created work as a template with the Canva Plus version. There I have a storage of 100 gigabyte of cloud storage. Canva for education or nonprofits can be also used. In that case, you have to send your email address so they can control if you're one of a nonprofit organization. Canva for enterprise means that people have paying for Canva to use, and they have naturally some advantages that they can define visual brand identity. They can create approval workflows. So one person create a job, create something, and another person in the company has to approve if everything's all right. And your unlimited cloud storage and control upload by team members of what documents and what information you upload. There's a question of Mr. Menendez, sorry to pronounce it, but does Canva save in standalone file besides PDF? It has its own structure, its own file system. I can export it as a PDF, but I can't convert it to an InDesign document. I can save it on another formats also, which we'll explain later. For Adobe Creative Cloud Express, we have also some possibilities. So you have also a free of charge version of 2 gigabytes, thousands of unique templates. These things you have. A limited stock of Adobe stock images are online. You have basic editing and photo effects. And it can be created for both web and mobile systems. With Creative Cloud Express Premium, which is a payable version, the entire collection of, it depends on which version you buy, the entire collection of about 160 millions of Adobe stock images are at your disposal, 20,000 licensed Adobe fonts, and you can convert and export to PDF and other file versions. If you have a Creative Cloud license, you can use also Adobe Creative Cloud Express, and you have also the possibility to generate a PDF. With the free version, you don't. So you have 100 gigabytes of storage. You can add branding, some like logos, colors, type of fonts. You have also a limited version of Premiere, which is Premiere Rush and Photoshop Express at your disposal online. What we do have as apps can be, so you can download Canva as an app on your Mac, Windows, Android, and iOS system. For Adobe Creative Cloud, it's just iOS and Android. So not for it, you can't download it for your Mac or Windows system. Only you can use it in that part by the web version, which I will show you for both systems. So on the web, if you have connection to the internet, you have the possibility to generate your files. We not only limited to PDF documents which has for creation, we can also create some presentations, some designs for social media, for Twitter, for Facebook, and so on. We can do also generate video, easy video films, naturally print products, which is the most important thing that we want to present, some marketing stuff, yeah. And also I have the possibility to, with Creative Cloud Express, to convert my Word documents, my Office documents into PDF by using Adobe Creative Cloud Express. Here we have a visual of how Creative Canva looks like. You see, we have a lot of possibilities. Later on, I will do it live, so it will be maybe a better screen about that, but it's just to give you an idea what Canva can and present. So here you see we have possibility, presentation, social media, video. You have some, I was in the print products part, which is presented here, in which I can create some invitations, some postcards, an invitation of a marriage, for instance. This is things which a lot of people are using. Also marketing, and there you see some office possibilities. When you generate or when you logged in as a user, automatically on top you will see for which user you are logged in. This was a Igepa webinars team, which was created. So you see what your recent designs are will be presented at the bottom. Here you don't see nothing, but you will see later on. So in that part, you can see which documents you were lately working on. Creating a design in Canva or Canva Pro give me, as I already mentioned, especially for cards and invitations, you're limited of 1 centimeter large and height. That's the minimum, until 211 centimeter high, so 2 meters around. That's the maximum of 1 page it can be. So that is how it's defined on that. You can create blank documents. You don't have to use a template if you don't want to. You can just use a blank page also. You have the possibility of importing images, logos, and drawings. And you have export for your design for print to a PDF. This is standard for your Canva solution. Also with the free version, you have this opportunity to do. This is a test file in which I will talk to you later on. So a test file was created where I put some images in there in grayscale, also in RGB, to see what's happening. You see also backgrounds of the image. And what you see here also that I received some cut marks if you want to know where I have to cut. Because one of the problems we have, if I generate without bleed, then I can't guarantee if I have to cut it that the cutting will be not visible with the white line. So if I created the document, I will show it first in a presentation, then live. We have some possibility to create a new design. Pay attention on the screen what you have here on. If you generate a new design, you have the possibility to show the margins and show print bleed. Also grids or guides you can open, and you have the possibility of rules. I advise that you standardly show print bleeds and margins. Also rulers can be handy in use. You see also at the bottom, I have the opportunity to open in a desktop app, which I said because the app exists for Windows and also for Mac if you want to work on your own system and not by the web browser. I generated here a design. And you see here, I had the opportunity to upload my document, upload my images, my different images in the way, because I have a button uploads in which I can upload my own creations, my own images, and not using them, only presented on the templates or in the libraries already on the system itself. So that gives me that opportunity where to. Afterwards, I have the possibility to export or to save my documents. And here you see I have the opportunity to select PDF print, standard, or high quality, in which is suggested. And also I say, please do, because You will see later on what advantages it gives to me. Otherwise, I can naturally save it as a PNG or JPEG if I want to use it, my creation in a presentation as an image or what on. But if I want to print it, please do generate a PDF print as suggested. I will create now live a design. I will go to my web page. I have here my web page, which I'm on Canva, or I could open also my as an app. You see here, I'm not connected as a Canva Pro user, so it's a free version which is possible to use if you want. So we have in the home possibility, you can generate or choose here what you want in the actions by scrolling or going to the document. If I want to create a blank file, you go to the top. Yeah. And I want to create something in as a new file by using, let's say I want to create a newsletter. Yep. And he asked if I want to open it on a Canva app. I said, no, thanks. I get my blank document. And as I already said, oh, sorry, wrong button. On my document back for newsletter. Yep. If I already said here, no, thanks. Under file, I have the opportunity to see here what my creation is. I can create here a new design if I want to. And as I already said, show print bleed. There he is. There is my space that I need. And also I have the opportunity to show margins created. These are default margins. I can't change them and also not change the amount of bleed, but it shows me in the inner part, in this part. So here I see where I had to design my thing and how I should design it. It's not the idea that I do it today, generate completely my document. I will open now. You see, I have here my recent designs, and I open here a test file, which I had created for the Gantt work group. No thanks. In which you see here, I have my bleed. I see here the border, which should I cut on. And what you see also, I have the opportunity to add pages. So I can generate a multi-page document. Yeah. What I generated here, it was a 4-page document. I uploaded some images, so you can see here. You have also the possibility to use some backgrounds which are in favor or your own by uploading it. You have also folders in which you can share for different people, but that is more or less for the payable version. If you want to have multiple folders in which people can see, look into, and purchase or use your templates and use your files on that part. So here you see my document. What I can do here, if I click on share on the right, but at the right side there, I'll minimize a little bit, move the chat box. So if you share it, I have the opportunity here to click on download. And when I have download, I have the opportunity here to say PDF print, best for printing. Why? Because in that part, you see here, I can mark, crop marks, and bleed. If I choose the other one, this option is not available. So please pay attention. Please use this one. And you see also in my creation, I generated to the border, extend the border, my image goes to the border. So for cutting, it will be no problem. You won't see any border in that part again. It has to go up to zoom out again. So I have here my documents. I can generate it here for print, best for print. I want to ask my mark and bleed, and I just have to download it. You will see it is giving you an opportunity of downloading, and I can follow my file and open it afterwards. Voilà. PDF print, add the heading. It's how it will be called now, depending on what you created and how you want it. You can also use some different templates. You see, there's a lot of stuff in there that you can use. And also, as I mentioned, it's not only limited to documents for printing, but you see here also, I have some posts for Twitter, for YouTube, things I want to create, which are templates that I can use immediately by creation. So if I look now until my document, on my document, I can open it with Acrobat if I want to. I will open the document, which is already downloaded. So I go to downloads. Oh, whoops. A list. Add a heading. You should be on top. Well, here you see the creation, the file which has been opened. This is my pit stop, which is already also there. So if I fit to zoom into page level, you will see that I have a border in green, which is the trim box for a PDF. And I have some bleed here, also some trim marks where I should cut my document. And you see this multi-page document, which I generated, and it looks okay to print and use. I go back now to my presentation. This was live for generating a file out of Canva. As I already said, we can create all the designs, also presentations, social media, videos. So it's a multi-purpose generating pro application for this in your design, in your marketing company, or as we already know, so it's a lot of used in in-house printing offices that people are using Canva for that part. Non-profit organizations too are using it. When we look now to Adobe InDesign, Adobe Creative, sorry, not InDesign, Adobe Creative Cloud Express, we have also the opportunity to create cards, brochures, and invitations as we wish to. We are limited here from 0.4 centimeters or 4 millimeters until 50 centimeters, 51, almost 51 centimeters. We are more limited in the size than we had on Canva. You can also use documents. We can create blank pages. We can do the same thing, importing images, logos, and drawings without any possibility. Expert PDF is only for premium version and education version. So in the standard free of charge version, you don't have the opportunity to export your file to PDF. The only thing you can do is save it as a JPEG or a PNG. Creating a design. This looks like the website expressadobe.com. If you have a Creative Cloud, Adobe Creative Cloud license, you have the opportunity to export your PDF file, which I have naturally, so I can use it. So we have here projects that you can generate, some brands. You see also library, for instance. The library is the one you share, who is shared by your Adobe Creative Cloud or by Office 365. You can also use the same libraries for information. This is a test file which I generated. Yeah, I used some images and some text, as I mentioned already, or as I've already shown, some background, another background here, which was available from the standard Adobe Creative Cloud images of Adobe stock images on the site. On the right side, you see also the possibility to add some brand. You can also download your document to PNG or JPEG as already done. What you also have here is to edit. You have the possibility to edit your image. So I can change some filters, some effects. I can do little changes also on Canva, but it's more limited that I have it here. And what I have here also at the bottom on the right, you see here layers in which I can easily go layer 1 on top of layer 2. So I can put things before or in front of each other by the kind of layer possibility. In Canva, you can do it by clicking on the image or on the thing you want to change from front to back. You have to do it like that. If I generate it and I have my Creative Cloud license, you have the opportunity PDF. Otherwise, just PNG and JPEG are mentioned to export or save or download your file. I will go now live. I have to switch a little bit because the bar is for the presentation a little bit in front. Adobe Creative Cloud. Here I am. So if you logged in and you have a Creative Cloud license, it will be mentioned here. If you don't have a Creative Cloud license, you will be asked to subscribe, and then you have to fill in your email address, and so you can use it on that part. So if I go to home, I can see all my different possibilities, how I can generate. You have some templates. You see here also for Instagram, some things to post, background, Facebook, posters, logos. That's all there, flyers. The only thing you have to pay attention is what you generate is only a single page document. So on the bottom here, I have some recent things I've done. Yeah, I will go to my job, which I present my things I currently generated. So I uploaded some images and I use some background things. So if you click on it, you can go to it. Yeah, you can also upload some photos, things you want to use. Here you can say I upload them, or so I can use it afterwards in my document to be generated. At the right side, you have here also possibility to playing with colors. Yeah, changing some colors. There's also a possibility of the animations, some typical background resize possibilities in that part. But today it's not the it's not the training how you should use Adobe Creative Cloud Express, but more or less what the possibilities are and how you can export it or save it to be print. So if I choose PDF, I don't have any possibility to generate the bleed. That I can't do. I don't have also the possibility to have printing marks. So at the end, it generates my file. And if I open it and I go to actual size or zoom into page level, I have my complete document, which has no bleed, no information about that, but is too short. But my information is there. There are also some advantages, because you have to know, if I go back now to my presentation, I have mentioned some other things which I can do with Adobe Creative Cloud Express. You can convert your one of the possibilities, your document to PDF or from a PDF to, let's say, a Word or an Excel file. So if I have a PDF, I can convert it the other way around too with my Creative Cloud Express version. So in that part, you have the option, why? Where you can say convert to PDF, convert from PDF. So if you click on those two parts, you will do either has been asked convert to PDF to drag and drop a file, which is normally as mentioned, you see here, Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or an image, which is a JPEG or a PNG image. You can drop on it and he will convert it to PDF using the Adobe Creative, Adobe engine to generate a PDF. Then you get some things for creating your PDF will be mentioned. Oh, yep. And afterwards, you have also the possibility to do it the other way. So if you have a PDF file and I want to change my document because I need the information which is mentioned on the PDF, I can convert it to an Excel file, a PowerPoint presentation file, a PNG, JPEG, rich format, or Word document. Pay attention, guys, it's not unfailable. So I mean, there are some things which are not converted the best way, but in most cases, you have all the information you need to work further with those information on your Office applications. Here you see, for instance, this was a job which was created in last time. People who maybe remember, we looked to how to create out of the Office applications a good PDF. I generate this file in Word, and I wanted to convert it to PDF. Now we're talking about limitations of the software itself. So first of all, you have to know every image which I load, place, or use in Canva is automatically converted to RGB. So even if you use CMYK images, special colors as duotone or Pantone colors or what else, or brand colors, everything is converted to RGB. The only supported file formats which you can import are a lot, I must say. You see JPEG, PNG, SVG, GIF, movie, naturally for the movie side or the image side. So we have a lot of things we can import it, but the disadvantage here is that everything is converted to RGB. For Adobe Creative Cloud, we have to take into account that only the supported formats we can upload or import are JPEG and PNG, not EPS, not TIFF, yeah, not useful. In Canva, I can. And for single, that it's only for single page documents. But what here is the advantage, I say, is that you can use RGB grayscale as grayscale, so black and white, and not as RGB. CMYK images are supported, not duotones, and not Pantone colors are not supported in those applications. So if I can advise you in creation, what is the problem? It's most prevent before you have to save, to solve or repair. For instance, if you use Adobe Creative Cloud Express and you don't have the possibility to generate the file with bleed, because you know, if I cut a whole bunch of paper in once, so the cutting is not so accurately as I do page by page. Therefore, I need some bleed or some extra information. So if a cut is a 0.5 millimeter wrong, you won't see a white line. That is the reason why. And also because, as I mentioned in the beginning, if I print to I generated an A4 document, I can't print it on an A4 if the image goes to the border. So I have to print it on a bigger paper, which is larger, maybe A3 or something bigger even, and then cut. Therefore, I need that bleed, which is approximately standardly about 3 millimeters around. So what I can say is at that point, generate not an A4, which is 210 millimeters up large and 297 millimeters height, So generate a file which is a little bit bigger. So add 3 millimeters each size, left, right, up and bottom, and then put also the image to the border. So, but pay attention, 3 millimeter will be around cutoff, being cut off. This is a possibility. Pay also attention that the resolution of your images is sufficient, because a lot of people are using images which are on the internet, and a lot of them are not having a good resolution to print. It's good on the screen, but not in print. So look for images which have a higher resolution than for digital printing, 150 dpi or ppi. Pay attention that you charge or use those images in your system to be used. Scaling up. Also, if you in your software scale your information, that scaling an image means also getting less quality, because if you scale your information up, your resolution of your image is going down. Logos, drawings, best save them for Canva in SVG format, which is a vector format. So there you have your curves, which can be enlarged without having any problems of quality. For brand or specific colors, look for RGB alternatives for Canva. For Adobe Creative Cloud, look for the CMYK combination to get the best result of the color you want to use or you want to have in a print. I get now a question of CERN. When Canva exported, will it be a valid PDF X4 file? Also, transparencies use your RGB. CERN, it's not a valid PDF X4 file, but I can say in most cases you don't have any problems of printing or using it in the workflow. The workflow has to, let's say, resolve the transparency and resolve also the conversion to CMYK. Officially, it's not a PDF X4 file. What I can do also is using pre-flight profiles in Focus Pitstop and Acrobat PDF or Calas PDF tools to check my files and maybe to control if they are reproducible. Check what should be corrected. So if you have the opportunity to use those applications, you can control if the file is correct as asked for by CERN in that part. I used here a Canvas toolbox to check, for instance, an image. So as you said, my Canva document, I checked it. I had some crop marks and I got some pre-flight information. I checked that also with that file, which was directly exported in Focus Pitstop. I used both applications to check it. I will show you directly what we can do. Here you see that it's not really a PDF X4 file. When I checked them, this was a check for the last image on with Pitstop I did. You see here, it's not a PDF X file. It misses a lot, some things. But to be printable, let's say the most important things that we know is that RGB is used and that the color space is not defined in CMYK naturally. So we have to set up our workflow or our print settings to convert them as in the best possible way. But if you send it to digital systems, even on printing, it gives you a valuable quality, but officially it should be corrected. Here you see what I found, what I did when I pre-flighted it, also with the other system with Canva Toolbox, I get also some errors on that part, because here you see there's even some information, some annotations, some print marks, which are visible. Yeah, right. But also useful in that part, as I can say. Metadata is missing. It has some actions which should be also removed. In most cases, those applications, as the Callas PDF Toolbox and also the Pitstop, had the opportunity to solve a lot of things in those applications, in those files. Sorry. So if I'm on the other part, first of all, I talked about the creation. If I'm on the other part, if I'm the printer, or if I have the one who receives the files and should reproduce them in the best possible way, how can I solve it? Well, frankly, if I receive a file which has no bleeds, in most cases, I scale them up to 103%. Pay attention, there is no text or information just near the border, and I don't lose that information. It's a thing that I can use, and it's commonly used. Also, there are other possibilities. We can use also corrective actions on in Focus Pitstop and Callas PDF Toolbox. So I can convert all RGB to CMYK if I think that's important for my system. If no bleed is present, I can generate them, convert grayscale RGB image into black and white. Brand colors in the contrary should be changed manually because they are not in there. There can also be mentioned in Canva in RGB or with Adobe Creative Cloud Express as a CMYK variant, but not as really a brand color. You can define them only in those two things, or in also in web colors, but not really as a Pantone as a spot color. So that you have to adapt manually in your Pitstop and Callas PDF Toolbox. Corrective actions also may be sometimes necessary for font spacing. We have the possibility to the embedded files, so the font is embedded, and I can sometimes convert it to outlines to be printed. I did two things to show you. I changed all RGB to CMYK, for instance, with the Pitstop action, and I generated some bleed with the PDF Toolbox. I will show you live in that, or I can show you afterwards directly live. So if I look to the images on in the Canva test file, you see this RGB, which is original in there. I used an action convert color to CMYK, which are standardly available in Pitstop and also in Creative in the in Callas PDF Toolbox. Sorry, these are all by standards actions which are available, and I can convert it afterwards. I get the CMYK image. Naturally, it uses the preferences of my applications, how it should be converted from RGB to CMYK. You see also, you see here on that part, it was on 4 pages, 3,746 times corrected. Okay, and then I did it the same thing for the other file. This is a file for from Adobe, the Adobe file from Adobe Creative Cloud Express file, which I was generated. This has no bleed, and after using an action, so there's a possibility in Canva PDF Toolbox as in Pitstop and Focus Pitstop to generate bleeds. I did let it do that part. I mentioned about 3 millimeters around, wanted to have at least 300 pixels per inch image resolution, so it can be printed conventionally and also digital without having problems on that part. You have the possibility to choose also if you want to have a different bleed on top of left or right, if should be necessary. and then he generated, because here you see the line, the green line is the line in which we will cut. Yeah, and we had some information added automatically on the system. He duplicated the image and generated it by using those applications. First of all, before we have some questions, I will show you directly here. You see here I have my pit stop possibility. So I didn't cheat on that part. So I have here action list, which we had on the bottom. And I say here, convert, run. So in that part, you can do those things. It is running, and it says I have converted here for that part only for 10 pages, converted to CMYK. The other one was the document of Canva, which has 4 pages. That's why. So you can do those things in the applications. You see there's a lot of actions which you can use, but frankly, I have to say prevent is always better than to have to solve. If I look now to the Calas toolbox, yeah, I can open a PDF file. Yeah, I can open in one of the generated files or one file which had been generated. And here I can use some bleed. So I can look, oh, sorry, cancel. I will look for bleed, the action for bleed. So by typing, that's easy. You type in bleed, you see here, generate bleed. I have the settings which I can, and I just have to execute it. And you see here, he added the information by mirroring and adding image on that part. So if I got a little bit wrong, I won't have a single line presented. So guys, I know it's a lot of information. I see here there were 3 questions. Yeah, there's a possibility with Creative Cloud Express, you can import an Illustrator file, which is a vector file. Yes, if you have some libraries, but that means that you have an Adobe Creative Cloud license. For the free version, you can't. So I have another question. We receive thousands of Canva files every month. The biggest issue is we don't see in with font formats. Often city fonts and so on are in there, which are failing on RIP. Yeah, I know. Especially you should use the standard fonts and which are in that, not the city fonts. And sometimes you can use Calas or and Focus Pit Stop to convert them to outlines to before it has been sent to the RIP. I did some files too, which were printing okay, but I'm sure it's as I said, there are 2 applications which are not comparable to the Adobe Creative Cloud or applications as InDesign or from Quark Express. There's not high standard generating PDF files, but you can use them. Sometimes, as you said, Tim, you're right. Sometimes you have to rasterize your Canva file to be printable. Yep, it's the only way sometimes we can do. But it's important that you ask them to use the print export from not the basic print export possibility, not the standard one. As I mentioned, to save your PDF file. We choose Canva, Adobe Express rather than Printess. Yeah, sure. That's another application, which I really, frankly, I know there's a lot of problems in that part. But I mentioned here the Canva and Adobe Creative Cloud Express as 2 valuable applications to generate some files. I don't say it's high standard, but I have to be frankly, it's more and more common that people receiving those files from elsewhere. Yeah, and that's a little bit also why in the subcommittee we wanted to look into that part. I know we can't foresee every problem. The only thing what we can do is to advise you the best possible way. So I see here. No, no, sir. And there's no possibility, no, how this file has been exported in Canva, for instance. You don't know which. Well, the only thing you can know if they use the standard or the other way, if they mark the bleed and the trim marks. Standardly, if you generate your file out of Canva, you have to select this part. So back to Canva. So we have to select for downloads if I have a design. No thanks. If you want to share it, you really have to click on downloads. Have to move a little bit the screens. I really have to download here and select best for printing. And there you have the possibility to choose crop and bleed marks, which is an advantage. But you don't know how it is generated. Also, if you look into the information of the file, if I have my file here, I will revert here in Acrobat. I will revert without adapting. This was a file which was created out of the Adobe Creative Cloud Express. So if you look into the properties of the information, you see here that it's used. It's a PDF 1.3 version, which was flattened, as I know, I must say, in that part. If I open, wait, close. If I open the other one, which was created by Canva, I have, wait a second, I have here my PDF exports. This was a test with crop marks here. And I look into here, I will see that here you get a PDF file, also 1.3, which should be flattened. Yeah, but the effects of transparency are in there. So you don't have additional metadata. You only get those informations. You see here, there's nothing in there on that part. Okay, guys, I'm thanking you to attending the webinar. I must say, I'm trying as a chair of the subcommittee to look into more applications and to guide you in that part of how you should generate. Thank you